This can be reading on what your masculine and feminine side's like. Like the masculine and feminine aspects of you, like the two divides. There's gonna be two piles. This what's it called? Honey calcite or quartz. It's actually a lot more like honey like in real life. But yeah. And then this is pile 2. This tiny green calcite. Tiny. Or citrine. Citrine. It is citrine. I don't know why I said calcite, but here, I want y'all to look at them both at the same time. I put them in opposite order, but this one's pile 1 and this one's pile 2. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this honey calcite, this is gonna be your reading about your masculine feminine side and like how they compare and contrast or whatever. If you want to like see your masculine and feminine sides, you can look in the mirror, and the left side of your face is usually your feminine side, and the right side of your face is masculine side. Now, the masculine and femininity is defined differently by each person, which is what we're gonna get into basically, is like what your feminine side is like and what your masculine side is more like, because everyone has a different masculine and feminine side. Some have a more some people are more masculine dominant, some people are more feminine dominant, and it's always for different reasons, you know. Some people's femininity is dark, some people's femininity is like really innocent, some people's masculinity is really like brutish, some people's masculinity is really like yielding. I think you get the point, but I'm not trying to say that everyone has like a male and a woman inside of them. Like, it's not really gender defined, if that makes sense. We have the Princess of Discs. This is the Thoth Tarot deck. Your feminine side's really like, I don't want to say flighty, but it's not like flighty. It's more like can't stay in one spot, which actually kind of like makes it more of like a repeating pattern of, I don't know, it's a little bit paradoxical of like spontaneity, but also in a patternized way. It's weird, like your feminine side can maybe be a little alluring, or like to the point where people can obsess over that part of you and like single out those parts of you, and not see the rest of you. But your feminine side definitely lives more in your like mind and your imagination. Just a lot of air water energy, Pisces, Libra energy. We have Eight of Wands, Valor. At least I'm pretty sure this is Eight of... No, it's Seven of Wands. I knew it was wrong. Leo in Mars. So your masculine side in contrast to your feminine side, is a little bit more when you're in your masculine energy, you stop to think a little bit more, if that makes sense. Your masculine side is a little bit more passive and observational, really just to get the logic out of things and make sure you have all of your facts straight. And it's not in a rude way, it's not in a know-it-all way, it's just you needing to have an innate need for you to have an ability to stand your ground, and not just in a an easy foundation manner. Like, you actually are founded upon facts and like truth. Maybe your masculine side not only is like really like more honest and like trying to like get to the truth and point out the truth in things, but maybe to the point where you stand out a little bit from people, if that makes sense, or people view you in a light where you are standing apart from them or standing out from the crowd. But while your feminine side is more sort of like everywhere, like all around your aura, and is more of like a fluidity that surrounds you, your masculine side is more like your center, and it's a little bit more fiery, if that makes sense. Like really fiery, like hot, like really hot. Okay. You might have this charm about you that you don't realize you have. Like, just the way your masculine and feminine sides sort of like balance out gives you this weird charm that you don't realize. And then how these parts of you contrast, or I guess like interact with each other in a way that like they balance out to equal, you know, both of them together as one. This is the moon. I feel like when your masculine and feminine sides are more balanced, your health is balanced, and when you're not, and when they're not balanced, it's like the opposite. I'm also feeling like you have less love for yourself when you aren't in that balanced state, but it's almost like love pours from you when you are in that balanced state. Maybe you rely more on your feminine energy a little bit because you are more in your mind. Because both Princess of Cups and both Seven of Wands energies are giving me that like you're very observational, or not observational, but like how air signs sort of are either really chaotic and like thinking of every thought possible, or they're sitting back and observing every thought, and every detail to a situation. And I just want to point out that we have the moon here, and we have the moon and the Princess of Cups here. So when you're balanced, your feminine side is more like projected out to the world and expressed to the world, if that makes sense. especially your dreams and desires, and sort of like the place you go when you're like in your mind palace or whatever, um is sort of what comes out of you when you're, it's sort of the energy you express when you're in that balanced energy of your masculine and feminine energies, of like standing your ground while also seeing all the little details of the situation, like you know to stand your ground because you know you see so deeply in the situation with the moon here. It's just like you see past people's like what they're saying face to face. You can see almost into their mind, their subconscious, just because of their energy. But yeah, it's definitely more of an air sign energy surrounding like the balance. So just like truth, if that makes sense. Maybe you have a hard time with like people who lie. Or bringing yourself to lie, you have a hard time with that. The only time you can really do that is when you're in your more feminine energy, because when you're in your more masculine energy, it's like the truth is just present in your energy. The truth is just present in like, because you're observing the truth and you're just projecting it at the same time as you're observing it when you're in your masculine energy. But yeah, when you're in your subconscious realm, that's when you're most in tune with both your masculine and feminine energies, and you're seeing them and observing them. Because what the moon here is just like, it's how you see yourself almost, is in this like dreamy moon-like energy, not like real, not real, don't really know, because you're like sort of in that mind world. You're in that dream world with the Prince of Cups here, like you're like the feminine side, you're like divine feminine, but more in the moon energy, more in night, if that makes sense. And with the Wands energy, I feel like your masculine side is more like during the day type energy. When you die, you're gonna be more on your feminine side. While you're living, you lead through life with your masculine side. Hi, Patu. You chose this green calcite, citrine. I don't know why I keep calling it calcite. Maybe you have like a calcite that's important to you. A calcite would be good for your energy. But anyway, I haven't used this deck in forever. This is the first deck I ever got. It's called the Night Sun Tarot. I got it at this place called the Curie Arcanum in Austin, Texas. Really awesome place you should visit. But they smell so good. I love the smell of incense ash and just old paper. Spirit, tell me about Patu's masculine and feminine sides. How do they differ? How do they interact? Tell me about Patu's feminine side. What card would best represent Patu's feminine side? We have the Tower. Coming out here, but it really wants to come out in reverse. It does. Your feminine side is definitely more comfortable with darkness. Maybe your anger is more expressed through your feminine side, or just your shadow side in general is more expressed through your feminine side. Maybe you associate that with femininity, if that makes sense. Um, just like the darker parts of life, or like the sus side of life. You might also be really intuitive. Maybe your feminine side is more intuitive than your masculine side, you know? Some of you are clairaudient. Anyway. I don't know, just really deep. You're a really deep person. Like your feminine side is so deep and complex that it's genuinely people just like their mind blinks when they're talking to you or they're thinking about you. Your feminine side is more like coy. Not coy, but like teasing almost. Like it's like your feminine side finds more humor in things. It's hard to explain. I think you know what I'm talking about though. Your feminine side is really pretty. It's like something out of a painting, if that makes sense. Like I don't think you think that about yourself, but your feminine side more like calls the energy forth, like I am a fucking goddess, bitch. And it's like you're okay with that. You're like, yeah, that's just how it is. Because like again, it's like you associate that like with the shadow side. But your feminine side a little stubborn though. For 4 o'clock when I said that, you're a little stubborn, but trust me, it doesn't matter because it ends up going with the flow of things anyway. So don't feel bad about that. Okay. Just don't be afraid of change in your life. Don't be afraid of that. Spirit, tell me about pile 2's masculine side. I like how both these cards come in out in reverse. We have 7 of Pentacles in reverse. It's just like I had a feeling I was gonna say this for this reading. I don't know why. Like it was when I was first coming up with this idea for the reading that I was thinking about me like talking the reading, and I heard me saying these exact words. But your masculine side is like backwards. Because we have the roots going up to the crown chakra, and we have the branches and the fruit going down to the roots. Something about your masculine side, okay, is really like sexy. I just want to go ahead and point out that like your masculine and feminine sides both have this like vixen siren type energy that is like totally like overwhelming. But yeah. Your masculine side is less afraid to like be caught up in the moment. Maybe you learn things in a backwards way, or maybe you've even been scolded for not learning things in the correct manner. Or people have tried to teach you and it just hasn't worked because their style of teaching just didn't work on you because of the way you learn. So unconventional. It's sort of something you had to figure out on your own. Because, like, your masculine side is, like, your actions, the things you do, you know? And your feminine side is what you receive. Your masculine side, the actions, the thing you do in your life to, like, express yourself is not, like, understood by other people. And so it's sort of something you have to, like, make up on your own, understand on your own. Like, no one... There's freedom in that, but at the same time, it's like, no one's ever gonna understand you like that. Your masculine side be a little bit lonely, bro. Maybe, like, yeah, you do get a little lonely when you're, like, just taking action in your life. You feel like people don't see that, can't see that side of you because they literally operate the opposite way from you. Like, and it's not like there's something wrong with you. There's literally nothing wrong with you. You're just built different. What I'm trying to tell you is just, like, don't be, like, weirded out when people don't understand you, because that's just the way you think is different than other people. When you're in your masculine energy, you're way more of a wordsmith, or you're able to articulate yourself more. You can really get out what you're trying to say or what you're trying to express through words, in your interactions with people, which might also be what's so charming about your masculine side, is that you just somehow know how to say the right things, and it's not like you're trying, it's just like what comes out of you. I don't know why I want to tell you this, but I feel like with your life path it's gonna go a little weird, so I feel like something weird or crazy is gonna happen towards the like more ending part of your life. There was like another word I was gonna use, but I couldn't remember. Like the last few chapters. Or maybe it's just more like the rewards you get out of life, or the success you feel like you get out of life, is way different than other people's definition of success. And your sense of self-fulfillment is going to be found way differently than other people. Maybe your actions are more passive. Like, your actions are more well-founded by being founded on passivity and, like, reception. Meanwhile, your feminine side is more... It gains more on being stubborn and holding its ground and sort of... It's weird, like, you cause things to change and be different just by, like, seeing things in a certain way to where you won't see it in any other different way. And that's, like, your feminine side is, like, seeing it that way, and that's just, like, how it is. But you being so, like, your feminine side is, like, able to hold on to those things and be loyal to those ideas and beliefs in such a way that nobody can move you. Like, no force under God can move you, literally. And it's like when an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object, or whatever. Some people might define you as crazy because you're a little bit weird, my pal, too. Your masculine and feminine sides are a little bit more like edgy and weird and on the dark side of things. We have Ace of Wands in reversed. Everything came out reversed. I feel like the balance in your masculine and feminine sides relies a lot more on your shadow side. You doing shadow work in particular balances that out a lot, but like maybe just you being more in touch with like the darker side of things, the darker parts of yourself. Meditate on your passions is what I'm hearing. Like meditate on what makes you passionate and why. Like why it makes you passionate. It's like this passion and this darkness that entwines your masculine and feminine side. And it's cool because we have grass poking up from both the tops here. And we have little flowers and little pentacles. Opening your heart chakra is gonna lead you more to like ascending from your ego, if that makes sense. For sure. And that applies a lot to your masculine side too, your masculine energies is like when you're in your masculine energy and it's less like healthy for you, you tend to be more like jealous, bitter, blaming others instead of yourself, envious, or self-hating, self-doubting, like complete lack of love. But when you're more in your healthy masculine side, it's like overwhelming love fills you, not only for yourself but for others, and you have forgiveness and understanding for all things. I don't know, just opening your heart chakra. There's definitely like a root chakra, heart chakra vibe, like a more rusty red like aura, and then like a forest green aura. With your feminine side being more of like tinged darker with shadows, and your masculine side being a little bit more lighter and green. You have a lot of things growing from your masculine side in your actions and the way you take action. And a lot of things being destroyed and causing destruction, not your only relationships, but the life around you and like the different parts of you as you move through life by your feminine side. Because there are some parts of you never let go, and then other parts of you have to shed so that you don't let go of the things that are important to you.